You found yourself on another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United, and on today's episode, Domas and Malik come up huge as the Kings get a much-needed home win against the San Antonio Spurs. And ladies and gentlemen, I am not joking. This is absolutely not fake stats. The Chicago Bulls, for the first time in a decade, win at Golden State. We have won 4 straight on the road, and we are 1 game away from going to 500. I'm hyped up, and we're going to talk about it on Let 'Em Know Kings United. Let's go! And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the post-game reaction podcast of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Sacramento Kings, and the Chicago Bulls. This is Let 'Em Know Kings United. Let 'em know, nation, you already know what time it is. Welcome to another edition of Let 'em Know Kings United, your Cleveland Cavaliers, Sacramento Kings, and Chicago Bulls post-game reaction podcast. I am your host, Skylar Weisberg. Thank you so much for tuning into today's program, and you can find Let 'em Know Kings United, which is 100% completely free and available on your favorite podcast app like Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all that good stuff, and you can also find this show on my YouTube channel, NJHawk40. If you are watching this show on YouTube, go ahead and do me a favor. Hit the like button on the video. Hit subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you know every time Let 'Em Know Kings United goes live on YouTube, and leave a nice positive comment down below. Give the show a follow on those platforms if you can, please. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. It is an amazing way to support the podcast, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Thank the basketball gods. Thank the basketball gods that were in the Golden One Center last night, because I was this freaking close. Bro, of recording a podcast saying that I am officially done covering the Sacramento Kings. Thank the Lord for Domas Sabonis, because Domas Sabonis called game with a clutch steal and dunk with 7 seconds left in the game to steal a win from the San Antonio Spurs, 131 to 129. The Kings light the beam in Sacramento, light the beam in the Golden One Center, but I gotta keep it 100 with you. And I always try to keep it 100 and be 100% honest with every game that I watch, with wins and losses when it comes to the Sacramento Kings. You still haven't learned. Sacramento, and here's why. You had a 21-point lead at halftime. I had a gut feeling in my mind that it is going to be the Kangs again. It's going to be the Kangs who show no desire. The Kangs who show no heart. The Kangs that don't know how to lock in for all 4 quarters. It was almost like that again. You allowed a San Antonio team who, by the way, had no Victor Wembanyama. You should have faced it in the paint all day long. I don't understand how the Sacramento Kings just don't understand the game plan. If you have Victor Wembanyama out there on the court, then I will literally have no problem with this. But with no Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs were small as hell all night long. You should have attacked the paint all freaking night with this team. But again, Sacramento does not understand the game plan. Sacramento doesn't lock in. Now, I will take the win, but this is a win that the San Antonio Spurs should have gotten. The San Antonio Spurs should have won this game. And I gotta give the San Antonio Spurs a hell of a lot of credit because these guys, in my opinion, came to play more than the Sacramento Kings, especially in the second half. I thought Devin Vassell was an absolute monster. Devin Vassell was an absolute beast. Brandon made some big-time buckets. Keldon Johnson was huge, but Devin Vassell, he did all that he can despite no Victor Wembanyama. I mean, Vassell clearly is the only leader of the San Antonio Spurs, but my God, I'm gonna keep talking about Domantas Sabonis. And by the way, shout out to Malik Monk, who with the game-tying three to set up the Domantas Sabonis steal and dunk off the ghost screen action. Domas scored 31 points, including the go-ahead dunk with 7 seconds remaining. He also added 17 rebounds and 9 assists, posting his 45th straight double-double. Domas said, just to get this win, it's great. It looked pretty ugly there with a minute left. Thankfully, we got the win, but there's still a lot to learn. You're damn right there's a lot to learn, Domas, because I do not appreciate the fact that once again, Sacramento needs to make this interesting. I want a nice, clean, stress-free, complete 48-minute win, and unfortunately, Sacramento did not give me that. What Sacramento gave me was a complete first half, but the second half, San Antonio completely dominated. I don't get it. I really do not get it. What is it going to take for Sacramento to learn to play a complete 48 minutes, especially at home? They do it all the time on the road. Why can't they put it together at home? Somebody explain to me that. Somebody explain to me why is it that the Sacramento Kings look vulnerable at home? I don't get it. I really do not get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. You had a shorthanded San Antonio team who has one of the worst records in the NBA. But they played harder than you the entire second half. I don't get it. I don't get it. Sacramento's never going to learn. Sacramento is never going to learn. Until they learn to complete a 48-minute game at home, stress-free, and no heart attack necessary, Sacramento's not going to get better. And I don't mean to be a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer on the show, but I got to tell everybody the truth. Sacramento is not going to get better until they learn how to play a complete 48 minutes. Bottom line, De'Aaron Fox was an absolute monster as usual. 33 points. He scored 17 of them in the fourth quarter before fouling out. And the Spurs fell to 0-7 with no Victor Wembanyama this year. They were without Victor due to a sprained right ankle. The star rookie was also slated to miss Saturday's game against Golden State. Fox said, obviously, we'd rather not be in that position, but at the end of the day, it's a close game against an NBA team. You try to execute down the stretch and try to get stops whenever you can. The Kings finished the game on a 7-0 run. Vassell led the San Antonio Spurs with 30 points and 9 assists. Greg Popovich really appreciated the effort of Devin Vassell. He was aggressive. He was confident offensively. He always busts his butt on defense. I thought he did a great job. We still make too many young mental errors that cost us when we're in a close game. Listen, I know the San Antonio Spurs are like having one of the worst records in the NBA, but I gotta give the Spurs and Greg Popovich credit. This team plays hard. This team was never gonna go away, and I'll give them their respect. I'll give them my respect. San Antonio did play hard, and I thought in the second half, they just dominated the Sacramento Kings. Although the Sacramento Kings dominated in the paint, outscoring the Spurs 76-52, the Spurs made all 21 of their free throws, while Sacramento went 17 of 18. And here's another issue with that. The Spurs were the more aggressive team. And honestly, like I said, San Antonio deserved to win this game. But thank God for Domantas Sabonis, and thank the basketball gods that I'm not going to record an episode saying my days of covering the Sacramento Kings are over. But here's what I'll say to this. You need to learn to play a complete game, because you got 5 more games at home. 5 more games inside the Golden One Center. And I just need the Kings to play a complete game at home. That's all I want. All right? 51% for the field for Sacramento, 50% for the field for San Antonio. The rebounds were 46-37 in favor of the Kings. The assists, 39-31 San Antonio. The steals, 8-8. The blocks, 4-3. Slight edge for San Antonio. As I mentioned, the points in the paint were 76-52 Sacramento. The fast break points were 15-9. In favor of the Sacramento Kings, and Mr. De'Aaron Fox was doing the Aaron Fox things. 33 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 14-32 for the field. Domantas Sabonis, Mr. Double-Double. I mean, what else is there for me to say? 31 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal and a block, 14-19 for the field. It's just too easy for him. Harrison Barnes was pretty solid, 17 points with 2 assists. Off the bench, Keon Ellis was a game changer. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a plus-minus, a plus 15. Malik Monk doing 6 Man of the Year things with 18 points. But Keegan Murray, 3 points. Kevin Huerter, no points. Disgusting. Absolute disgusting. I know that Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter and Keegan Murray are way better than what their numbers were. Devin Vassell was the only scorer that showed up for San Antonio with 30 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 11 of 18 for the field. He also had 2 steals and a block. Off the bench, Branham was huge. 23 points, 5 of 5 from 3, 4 assists, 2 steals. Keldon Johnson, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 9 of 17 for the field. I will gladly take this win for Sacramento, but Sacramento still have a lot to learn, and until they get better, they're going to have to learn to play a complete 48-minute game, especially inside the Golden One Center. But coming up next, an upset alert inside the Chase Center as the Chicago Bulls pull off the maybe biggest upset of the entire season, beating Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and the Chicago Bulls, and winning at Golden State for the first time in a decade. We're going to talk about them when we come back on Let 'Em Know Kings United. Welcome back to Let 'Em Know Kings United, and I got to say this. Who in the living freaking hell are the Chicago Bulls? I don't know this team anymore. I don't understand this team anymore. I don't get how we just beat the Golden State Warriors 125-122. We are 1 game below 500. We are 31-22. We beat Steph Curry. We beat Klay Thompson. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy that the Chicago Bulls pulled this off. Of course, DeMar DeRozan was doing DeMar DeRozan things. Missed the fourth quarter. The real king of the fourth. Stroke again. He struck again in the fourth quarter. Of course, the Chicago Bulls got some big-time injury help with Steph Curry with the right ankle. He buckled again, and that hurt as much as anything for the Golden State Warriors in yet another late-game defeat. Steve Kerr said that it didn't have an immediate post-game update on the 2-time MVP status other than his foot was being treated in a bucket of ice. That is bad news for any Golden State Warrior fan that is listening to this right now. But I want to talk about the Chicago Bulls, who once again, almost gave me a panic attack. Like, I cannot trust to watch a Bulls game anymore without it getting interesting, because for the most part, I love the fact that the Bulls were in this game. They were right there with them. They were competing with Golden State. I hate to use the competing word because it triggers the worst man in the history of the Bulls front office. I'm talking to you, AK. You don't know crap about running the front office of the Chicago Bulls. But anyway, I love the fact that we stayed in the game. But what I don't like, the Bulls still need to learn how to gang rebound. I don't get it. Vooch and Trey cannot be the only two guys that can get rebounds. Everybody needs to box out. Every single Red Bull jersey needs to box out. When the shot goes up, I need to see every single Chicago Bull get a body on someone. It can't be just Vooch and Trey. Now, Kobe White and DeMar DeRozan tried to rebound for the Bulls, and I appreciate that effort, but my freaking God, if we could limit second chance points and everybody gang rebounds for the Bulls, we could have blown out this Golden State Warrior team. We could have blown them out. But again, the Bulls don't learn. The Bulls never learned. The Bulls never learned how to lock in defensively, and the Bulls never learned how to gang rebound. The only reason why we won this game is because of DeMar DeRozan. Let's be completely honest. He converted a three-point play with 26 seconds left after hitting a key jumper at the 43-second mark on his way to 33 points. Steve Kerr said DeMar made the and one I thought was the key shot in closing few minutes. DeMar is one of the greatest closers in the game, and he has been for 10 years. You damn right that DeMar DeRozan was the closer, and that's a little bit of revenge for what the Golden State Warriors did at the United Center earlier this year, which, by the way, I am not gonna forgive the United Center crowd for what they did, booing a man that brought 6 championships. I don't care where you stand with Jerry Krause. I don't care if you love him. I don't care if you hate him. I appreciate him because of the 6 championships that he brought to the Chicago Bulls. But my freaking God, the way that the United Center crowd acted on that night, booing the widow of Jerry Krause, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is a permanent stain as a member of Bulls Nation for me. That is still one of the permanent stains that I'll ever have as a Bulls fan going forward. But I love the fact that the Bulls found a way to win another clutch game. They're one of the best clutch teams in the NBA for a reason. I cannot forget the impressive performance by Nikola Vucevic. He had 33 points and 11 rebounds and 5 assists for the Bulls, hitting a tying three-pointer with 3 minutes remaining. The Bulls won for the 4th time in 5 games and stopped an 8-game losing streak on Golden State's home floor. They won their first win in the Bay Area since 2015. The Bulls keep improving. The Bulls keep making some kind of history. But the challenge now for the Bulls is to get to 500. And we got a golden opportunity, Bulls Nation. We got a golden opportunity to get the elusive 500 against the LA Clippers. But how are we going to do it? We got to contain Kawhi Leonard. We got to contain Paul George. We got to box out because Ivica Zubac can get a whole lot of rebounds. Russell Westbrook can bring a spark off the bench, but he's hurt with an injured hand right now. So I need the Bulls to play their best brand of basketball against the LA Clippers. I will give the Bulls credit. They have been playing really good basketball right now. They have been playing their best brand of basketball this season. But if we play a complete 48-minute game with us locking in defensively, with us gang rebounding for all 4 quarters, we can win against LA, and we could do something that I have not seen before since joining the Chicago Bulls. The elusive chase to 500 could end on Saturday when we take on the LA Clippers, but the Bulls need to lock in order for that to happen. But that was a great win against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, though. One of the best wins of the year. 53% for the field for the Bulls, 44% from three. The Golden State Warriors shot 45% for the field, 26% from three. The rebounds were 48-40 in favor of the Golden State Warriors, including 13 of them on the offensive glass. That is just pathetic. Inability to gang rebound. That's just simple. The assists were 31-29 in favor of the Warriors. The steals were 8-6 Warriors. The blocks were 5-2 Bulls. Points in the paint 58-40 in favor of the Warriors. The fast break points 16-8 in favor of the Warriors. But Compton's in the house. The king of the fourth. DeMar DeRozan stepped up big time. 33 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and a big time block. Vucci Main, 33 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 14 to 23 for the field, 3 of 6 from three-point range. Kobe White, 20 points, 7 to 16, 7 assists, 3 steals for this guy. Ayo Dosunmu, 14 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Welcome back, Torrey Craig. He didn't do anything as far as scoring, but he had 2 assists and a rebound for the 14 minutes that was in. But team, 6 points and 2 for 4. All his shots were threes. Javon Carter, I thought he did really good off the bench, even though I do not like this man. 10 points, 2 assists. He was 2 of 3 for three-point range. For Golden State, Steph Curry, we did a really good job defending him. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 of 12 from three-point range. Draymond Green, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, triple-double. Klay Thompson, I think he's thriving more off from the bench. 25 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, 9 of 21 for the field, 5 of 12 from 3. Chris Paul with 15 points. Jackson Davis with 8 points. Podziemski, 11 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and a chance for a game-winning layup that thank God that he missed, because if he made that if he made that game-winning layup, I would have went the complete opposite direction. But with that being said, good win for the Bulls. Good win for the Bulls. 3-0 in the West Coast trip. That could define their season. If we win against the Clippers, we not only get to 500, we sweep the West Coast trip and we come back to the United Center with good vibes. Either way, it's going to be good vibes, because this has been a successful road trip for the Chicago Bulls. But I would really like a win against the Clippers to get back to 500. That's going to do it for today's edition of Let 'em Know Kings United. You can find this show on your favorite podcast app like Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff, and on YouTube. Like this video if you are watching on YouTube. Hit subscribe to my YouTube channel, NJHawk40. Give the show a follow, turn on your notifications, and give Let 'em Know Kings United a 5-star review. I'm your host, Carlo Weisberg. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time for another episode of Let 'em Know Kings United.